Good morning. I just want to say, like, every time you hear a student talk, they talk about how Sam had to talk them into it after months of nagging, and I had to nag Sam for about 3 years to get a spot in chapel. Whatever. Also, I want to apologize if I seem a little groggy this morning. I just came from a Dr. Case Bible test. To the rest of my classmates who just came from the same thing, don't worry, we'll get them next time. But, welcome to the first ever chapel edition of Todd Talks. Today I'm going to be talking about respecting our failures, but as some of you know, all good Todd Talks start off with a story. So, and if you've been in choir, you've already heard this one, I'm sorry, but I think it's a good story. So we're going to go back to my freshman year of high school, 7 years ago, about 50 pounds lighter, a lot better in shape. I was a starting nose guard in second string center, my freshman year of high school. I've never played before. We're playing against Brittner High School, and we were up by 42 points because they were a bunch of scrubs. So our coach decides, since we're up by so much, we should allow the other strings to play because they usually don't get a whole lot of playing time. So I went off of defense and I went on offense. To be granted, this is the first time I've been center in an in-game situation. All right, practice is a little bit different. So I go in for center and we enter the shotgun formation. If you don't know what that is, that's when the quarterback stands quite a bit of ways further back than normal. And the quarterback calls out hike and I snap the ball. And I begin blocking. And then a few seconds later, I hear the whistle go off, but I never noticed the ball get thrown anywhere. So I turn around and I'm wondering what happened, and I realized I snapped the ball about 15 feet above the quarterback's head. So the only thing he could do was fall on top of it to stop the ball to stop us from losing possession, basically, to cover up my mistake. My sophomore year of high school, I started playing soccer. I was a goalkeeper. If you don't know a lot about soccer, if you're 5'6.5", you probably shouldn't be that. Chip shots were my #1 kryptonite. Never could block those. Basketball, my whole basketball career was just a failure. We're just going to be honest right here. Should have never happened. I did make one three-pointer, assisted by Josh Hamilton, if he's anywhere in the audience. I don't know where he's at, but Josh Hamilton assisted that. And then in baseball, I couldn't scoop. And as a first baseman, that's like probably the #1 thing you should ever be able to do. So, yeah, to say the least, I had less than a super successful sporting career. I played in 5 state championship games in high school. I got second place in all 5 of those state championship games. I can't recount every good thing I've ever done, but it seems like every mistake I've ever made, I can almost moment for moment recall it. I failed in multiple things. Classes, tests, people, family, friends, relationships, sports, myself. And as someone who struggles with depression, I know how hard it can be when some of us fail. To be 100% honest, I've had mornings where I wake up and I look in the mirror and that's all I see is failure. Just because that was my perception, it doesn't mean that's what it still is. It took me a long time to realize how to effectively handle failure and how to effectively look at it. And that's what I'm hoping to share here today. The most important thing that we must realize is that failure is a stepping stone in the learning process, not a dead end. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Star Wars: The Last Jedi. But Yoda appears to Luke Skywalker at one point in the movie. And Luke's being sad because he feels as though he failed Yoda and all the past Jedi, as he couldn't bring back the Jedi Order. But Yoda shares some very important words. The greatest teacher failure is. You build on failure. You use it as a stepping stone. Close the door on the past. You don't try to forget the mistakes, but you don't dwell on it. You don't let it have any of your energy or any of your time or any of your space. One of the most encouraging words I ever received from a coach was, if you make a mistake on the field, you don't dwell on it because that's what causes the next one. You move on. You acknowledge what you did wrong. If there's anything we can immediately learn from failure, is how to not do the thing we were trying to achieve in the first place. Failure in return makes us better. Mixing determination with failure leads us to success. It's one of the most common sayings when it comes to failure is to not give up and keep pushing forward. Ever tried, ever failed? No matter. Fail again. Fail better. 2 Corinthians 4:9 says, "We are persecuted, but God does not leave us. We are hurt sometimes, but we are not destroyed." Failure is all a part of the experience. Nobody gets out of this part in life, which is unfortunate because, let's be honest, it sucks. But at least we can use our failures to help others and teach them. Some of the wisest and most knowledgeable people in life figured out some of what they know, not by what they did right, but by what they did wrong. I want to leave you with this, and that's that your past does not define you. Your failures are not who you are, but rather contribute to who you're going to become. All of us at some point have failed. None of us are perfect, but most of us are far from it. The fact of the matter remains that on the road to some of our most successful achievements involved a stop at failure. But we persevered. We kept pushing and eventually reached our destination. With a positive outlook and handling our failures in a proper way, we can better ourselves and achieve things we once thought out of reach. Thank you, guys.